Hello everyone, odedex here, welcome to episode 93 of my Simple Let's Play. So, as I've said in the ending of the previous episode, I just waited for the quarry machine to go down and back up, and we're about to see if that pulse former that I've added will fix the problem. If not, I'm gonna come up with something else, but yeah, let's give it a second until it reaches the critical point and see if it works or not. Okay, so they're about to meet each other. Now, their first interaction point is gonna have two intersections of the ejected wire. This should basically move forward once, this should move forward twice, so they have 3 points of intersection, and by the time it reaches down and back up again, they should have 2 again. So let's see what's happening. They connect, and nothing happens. Okay, so... oh. So it only moved once again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go for the second option of solving that problem, which I did prefer not to fix it this way, but it's simply... there probably is a different way to fix this when you think about it, but let's just do it like this. Let's change the counting here to 4. Remove the pulse former, so the direct signal will come through. It will pulse twice, once before the movement, once right at the end of the movement, and then the timer will have 2 ticks of its own to reset the counter. So there are 4 ticks altogether, causing the movement twice. I'm going to need to move it once on my own to actually reset the problem. So I'm going to need this, and I will need to steal a lever. Whoops, I'm going to steal a lever from somewhere here for a second. Let's just steal this one. So I can reset the problem. Let's do it like this. Or no, it will not reset. Or actually it will. No, it will have a problem. Can't do it here. Let's do it here. Oh. Let's do it here. So one movement, and it moved already once. Yeah, so that's fine. And reset this, and change this again to be taking 4 ticks. And now, theoretically, it should be working just fine. But I'm gonna do something else instead of just monitoring this. And I'm gonna leave it for now, see how it goes. In theory, if it's not broken, it's fine. If it's not broken, it should just keep mining forever now. But yeah, just gonna let it run for the time being. Okay, so I did some combinations between Enchanted and Charmed, and I finally... it's funny because the first time I just got a supernatural princess, but no drone, so I had nothing I could do with it. It was actually quite amusing, but now I see, yeah, pretty good here. Now, supernatural bees are a strain right before the Stark bee, so supernatural bees, I'm gonna try and pure breed them. So let's find the 2 best princesses, so I can make sure that I have... yeah, okay, that's pure, and that's supernatural. That's half, that's also half, and that's... okay, so let's go for the best attributes in case it changes. So shorter normal, shorter normal, and short normal. Okay, so let's go for this one. They have charmed as well. Now, in terms of drones, I don't have much choice, but this one is pure, and this one is also pure. Okay, so there is no difference whatsoever. So let's just let these 2 breed, and hopefully create more drones in the future. I'd like to extract the supernatural species trait out of one of those, but cannot really do that at the moment. So, it's gonna have to wait. Let's go take a look at my nether bees. They also changed to demonic bees. Now, demonic bees are actually very interesting. Except for the fact that I need them, I also want to have a demonic bees, because demonic bees create glowstone. Now, glowstone, at the moment, since I'm not yet automatically mining the nether, Having glowstone is very convenient. They create both glowstone, and the combs that create can also create glowstone. You can see it with, if I go for the glowstone recipe, it comes out of this, the glowing comb, and I'm 99% sure that the glowing comb, that's the result of the demonic bee. So yeah, now this is why I'm gonna let those guys inbreed quite a lot and eventually also keep some of them. So I'm gonna let those do their job again and just give them some time. Okay, so off screen I did some math, and it's kind of fan math. So 1 UU meter requires 1 million EU if you don't use any scrap. Now, right at the moment I have 1 HV and getting very close to a second HV. Let's say I have 2 HVs, 2 HV solar arrays. Let's assume that. The amount that one recycler makes, the amount of scrap that one recycler makes is already not enough. Now, I was considering creating a second recycler, but I'm thinking that I'm simply going to let it run on one and simply let it do its thing. So, assuming 1 EU meter takes 1 million EU, to actually get to the maximum point of HV solar arrays, that beyond that point adding any more is simply pointless, is about 2000. It's actually it's a little bit less because every HV creates 512 EU per tick and not 500 exactly. So it's kind of a fine number that I was worried about creating some problems here, but until the point that I get to actually 2000, it's mind-blowing. Of course, you have to take into consideration that the longer the fiber cable is, basically beyond 40 blocks or every 40 blocks, the energy is being reduced by 1. So the 1000 HV solar array that will be quite far away from here is going to be, as far as the mass fabricator is concerned, is not going to be generating 512, it's going to be generating slightly less, but it's still right about that number, that 2000 number. So just, you can grasp the idea of how crazy it is. And by the way, why is that number? Some testing that I did, a mass fabricator, and basically probably any machine, any type of block, cannot do a process more than once a tick. So no matter how many HVs you add above 1 million EU per tick, the mass fabricator will not create more than 1 UU per tick. It will only create up to 1 per tick because simply that's the way it's designed. So beyond 2000 HV solar arrays, you'll simply need to add more mass fabricators. But that getting there will be quite crazy. I mean, it will be insane. So you don't have to worry about that. I think I can actually complete a second HV. How many do I have here? I have 3 here, low voltages. And by the way, the factory still is not creating it completely on its own. I'm still dumping some iron here and there, so this is why they're there. No, the 3, I'm going to just place them as is. You guys might say that when I'm placing those materials might be stupid, because when I do that, all the other buffers get emptied and then they need to be refilled again anyway. But that would be correct. But the thing is that whenever I take out the HV solar arrays and place them, I'm also generating UU matter faster from that point going forward. So it would indeed be correct that all buffer still needs to be refilled, but they will be refilled faster. So this is why I keep doing that, and it's worth it. It's worth the trouble. And one more thing, this is kind of an issue that I've been encountering quite a lot lately. A lot of you guys are kind of upset that I'm not doing anything with computers. You keep telling me that all my logic could be changed with just a couple of lines of code, or one computer, or one turtle, and everything could be so much easier. This is a statement I'm going to say right now. I'm pretty much going to stick to it. By the way, just to let you guys know, I'm not a programmer by profession, but I do know programming. And I would say I'm quite a good programmer as well. Personally, I know C and JavaScript. JavaScript for web programming, and C for Windows apps, or basically any type of apps. And I don't have the programming itself is not a problem. I actually enjoy programming. But the thing is, the moment computers and programming enters Minecraft, it stops feeling like Minecraft anymore. It just, you have one block that just does everything for you if you know what you're doing, and nothing if you don't know what you're doing. But it just feels a little bit too much out of place. And I'm not saying that those of you that use computers are doing a bad thing or anything, just do whatever you want. But personally, me, you most likely will never see computers in my Let's Play. It's just something that I don't think fits. It just doesn't sit well with me. So you guys can continue saying that I should do it. I'm not going to. And yeah, this is pretty much it. I think that creating those complicated logic circuits is a lot more impressive and also a lot more fun than doing it with a computer. You actually, I think for somebody who doesn't understand programming, when you see the logic gates, when you see the AND gates and the NOR gates and the XOR gates and all those different type of logical tiles, when you see those, I think it's easier to understand also what's going on. Because when you see a loop, you might not understand what a loop means, or what variables mean, or I don't know, what functions and methods mean. You might simply don't understand, and I think they kind of are out of place in Minecraft. So don't expect seeing them anytime soon, or at all. Maybe eventually, but this then stops being Minecraft and starts being programming lessons, which I don't really like. So yeah. And also, just a side note, still on computers, don't understand me wrong. I think that one Dan200, the creator of Computercraft, and what Eloram, the creator of Red Power, which also has computers, did an excellent job, an awesome job, and it's definitely an awesome mod that a lot of people like using. And probably I would have liked using it as well. I just think they might be a little bit too overpowered, their capability. The last time I played on Forgecraft, I started playing with Chicken Bones, and he took a computer. About 30 minutes into the game, he took a computer. He had some pre-written programmed functions that simply... Oh, I'm also creating unusual pollen here. He simply created a quarry in exactly half a minute. Just copy-pasted the pre-written program of his. We just found 3 diamonds. He built this computer with a mining pickaxe, gave it some charcoal for fuel, and suddenly started mining like crazy. And I just think that even something are overpowered, this is extremely overpowered to the point where it takes out the fun. Like, what's the point? So yeah. Okay, so while waiting for my red power quarry to make its way again, and waiting for my bees to reproduce, here is the second thing that I really wanted to start doing here, and it's also going to be quite a fun project more than it's going to be useful, but it's really something that I like to do. And it's also something that I haven't done for this season yet, and as you can see from my NEI, it's something regarding to tracks. So there are 2 tracks related mods installed in the Railcraft pack, which are Railcraft, which adds all the different tracks and also changes the way tracks are made. The basic tracks are made like this, and not simply iron and sticks or whatever. It's a little bit more complicated, and I think it also counts as a little bit more pricey. You need rolling machines, and you need something called creosote oil, which I actually made before for something else entirely, like 50 episodes ago or something, and I still have a stack of that. What I really want to do is, the book that I've placed here is supposed to be temporary, and it will be once I can pretty much sure that this thing is working, and probably once my next project is completed. This will be removed, and I'm going back to be using my original book, specifically for the reason that when you enter so far away from the actual quarry, only then you can grasp the magnitude of how crazy this thing is, which I really like. I'm enjoying this fact. So what I want to do is some sort of automated track placement that will keep expanding forward and forward. It will simply keep going, and just be a permanent connection between my my entry book, and the quarry itself, so I don't have to fly here every single time. And so this is going to be quite a big project. The actual logic of rail placement and everything, that's simple. That's not a problem. The actual problem is everything around it, like creating everything and so on and so forth. Now keep in mind that Steve's carts and Railcraft both have amazing features. However, for the time being, for now, I'm only going to be using the most simple ones. Probably the most basic cart, and for the time being, most basic tracks. Either only the basic tracks or also the booster tracks, because I think they're quite mandatory for what I want. But yeah, for the time being, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is going to be quite a big project. I think it may last a couple of episodes. And also in the meantime, also going to just keep breeding my bees here. Just keep making sure that they keep breeding. So I'm going to need some more soul sand. So yeah, so once I'm done with this, hopefully I'm going to have my Stark bee that I'm looking forward for so long. Apparently this bee can create both cocoa combs and otherworldly combs. That's awesome. Let's just have a quick look at my demonic bees, see how they're doing. They're still... I should have brought some frames for them, soul frames. Alright, so let's start taking the biggest... Basically take the large problem and create... which is to create this giant rail connection, and simply start splitting it up into many different problems, many little problems. And also back to computers, this is how usually you should do it when you're programming. Look at the big picture and start dividing it into tiny little bit of problems that you can solve more easily. So let's start with the most basic part. Let's start with automating the track crafting. So let's see. To craft a track, I'm gonna need standard rails, or okay, this is quite irrelevant. Okay, so I'm gonna start needing to use iron or bronze or refined iron or steel ingots. How do you create steel ingots? Relevant, also relevant. Apparently you can create it from bees, but that's also irrelevant. How you can create steel ingots other than that then? What? I remember creating steel, I just don't remember how. I think it was in a whirling machine? How to create iron plate? Yeah, okay, just iron. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna need either iron, bronze, or refined iron or steel ingots. For the time being, I'm gonna stick with iron because it's simple. So iron in a rolling machine, and also I'm gonna need creosote buckets or creosote liquid. Is there a better way to make it? You can make it in a carpenter, or you can make it in crafting table. When you use a carpenter, you can actually use the creosote as in liquid form. This is actually extremely convenient for me. Probably gonna go for this. Is there any other method? No. Either carpenter or shaped crafting. I assume carpenter will also require some energy, but that's not a big problem. It just the fact that I can use it in liquid form and not transfer it into buckets or any of those liquid containers is a lot more convenient for me. So let's start with that. Now, in order to create creosote oil, I think the only method is cooking coal into coal coke, basically. Oh yeah, in a blast furnace, I think you place iron and create steel. So what that means, I'm going to need to start automating the creation of creosote oil. And this is going to be actually a lot simpler than you might think. Just as I've made with my recyclers, I've changed the sorting machine to be taking full stacks of them, and basically my recycler machines take half a stack before that, so this is why they have the advantage. I'm going to do the same with coal. I also have a giant amount of coal. Like, this is crazy. This is full, this is 65,000, and this is also a lot. So let's change the sorting machine priority to be taking where is my coal? To be taking a full stack of coal at a time. I'm gonna need a little bit more coal. I'm gonna need a filter and some white ender chest. I should have some. Yep, there we go. And just gonna need to make sure that the automating process works without any problems. So, oh, actually, should have brought a timer. I should have a large stack of timers somewhere around here. And actually, also let's take some alloy wire. Okay, I'm gonna need, let's see, I'm gonna need a timer. I'm gonna need some alloy wire. And let's get a barrel and some tubes. Another filter. Let's take all my filters just to get along with it, and get some tubes. Alright, so let's say that this will be connected, like, I'm not exactly sure how it should be connected, so I'm just gonna start guessing here. I assume this inventory will be taking stuff from the top, so I guess it will be best to have actually the filter looking like this, and this chest be looking like this. This will be taking half stacks of coal, so it's gonna have a priority over my sorting chest, and will simply be ticking every so let's move it. Okay, so filter, whoops, filter, ender chest, half a stack, timer. Does it work? Still I don't know. Let's just dump some coal in here, take some out, and they'll land here. Okay. And now to take the coal coke out, this is why I brought a second filter. So just have this filter here, have it rotated like this, have a barrel here, a tube here, and I'm gonna need some sort of ticking mechanism. Now, why can't you place it on this? Okay, let's work around it. I'm gonna need a cover. Let's get a cover. That will be the easy way out. This and should be enough. Have it like this, and timer. Come on. Oh, they don't like, yeah, it wasn't placed correctly. Let's change something. Can this be placed here? Oh yeah, it can. Okay, so there we go. So this build will be taking the coal coke out, so making sure that the coke oven can still keep cooking. However, as long as the creosote oil liquid area is full, it won't do anything. Now I think I should have somewhere. Oh, never mind. Anyway, so yeah, now I got the automatic creosote oil creation system done. Now I just need to start emptying it out. So what I'm going to do is simply bring a carb. I'm going to simply make the entire automatic system right over there. There is no need to move anything. It's convenient that it's there. I might break some sand behind it or move the blast furnace away, but overall this is where it's going to be. So I'm going to need a carpenter, and I'm also going to need another tesseract to actually move the energy around. I'm going to use the same wireless network that I had over there. Very much, basically just the same network exactly, so it's going to be quite easy. However, I'm going to need some more tesseracts, so I'm going to start creating them off screen, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my energy tesseract, I got my carpenter, I got some liquid ducts and some redstone. Now, I think that there will be... I'm going to need to manually move the liquid around. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. So, let's see how we're going to have it. Okay, let's just connect it like this for now. So, go from here into, say, oh. Okay, so let's disconnect this. Or just, better just start clearing. Yeah, just gonna start clearing behind here. So it's gonna be built towards that direction over there. So it's gonna be more easy. Yeah, let me clean that and I'll be right back. Alright, so this seems to be good enough for now. This is just to give it some torches. So there are no creepers creeping around, although with my experience there are always creepers creeping around, so this should be fine though. So it like this. Yeah, that's well lit, I believe. Okay, so let's have it looking like this. Liquid duct here, liquid duct here. This carpenter. I'm gonna need a redstone torch to make sure that the liquid is being extracted, and I'm gonna need to modify this to be looking like this. Now also, coal should be start cooking again. Yep, because liquid has somewhere to go. So the creosote oil is gonna be here. Now I'm going to start pasting the recipe. Yeah, let me get over the night first. Okay, so now I'm going to start pasting the recipe to actually, or actually I'm gonna need energy first. Let's connect that to make sure that there is energy. So it's on the Buildcraft energy, set the frequency 1, and receives only. Okay, there we go. So this should now work in theory. However, the problem is that I don't have any wood yet. Now, so far, in the whole season so far, I have not yet made some sort of automatic wood crafting, some sort of wood chopping, or any way of automatically getting wood. Now I could use forestry, but I think I'm gonna go for a slight tangent here and create something interesting. Let me go for something with red power. However, let's make it even one more step interesting. One of you told me that I should look into using walnut trees to actually harvest seed oil from them faster, and you were correct. With the recipe of the squeezer, why can't I look at them at the moment? Let's do it like this: seeds, uses, and in a squeezer, other recipes. Okay, so main differences give you very low amounts of liquid oil or of seed oil. Like this gives you 0.05, and there are other seeds that gives you let's get some seeds. Melon seeds gives you 0.02. This gives you also, the seeds that I've been using gives you only 0.02 seed oil. You're gonna need 50 seeds to actually create one bucket. However, when you use other more interesting items, you can get more. Chestnut gives you almost a quarter of a bucket. An apple gives you a fifth, and the walnut gives you also a fifth. And it's a very nice and round number, and I'd like to give it a test. And I don't know at what point, but somehow I managed to get myself a common walnut sapling at some point, apparently. So I think I have that. And do I have anything else? I have all the different weird trees. Okay, so I have this common walnut sapling. So I'm gonna try and grow that. In terms of products like the walnuts themselves, I don't know how that works. And by the way, everything that I'm doing related to walnuts and everything, that's forestry. Forestry alone. In addition to bees, at some point Sengir also added this different type of tree. So let's first get a grafter. I could actually create a special grafter. A grafter is basically a tool specifically made for this use just here, to make sure that when you break a leaf with it, it will give you a sapling. So no matter what, you're never at the mercy of leaves dropping saplings. With this, you can make sure that you get at least one. So let's first begin with creating the simple one instead of creating the Thumbcraft one right away. There is no real need for that, I think. Gonna test a couple of things. First, can I apply bone meal to this simple sapling? Let's start testing. So if I apply bone meal, does it grow? No, it doesn't. Okay, so this is a problem. Is there a way to make sure that bone meal applies to those trees? Let me actually do some research and find out. Be right back. Okay, so I didn't actually find any information regarding it. I think they simply fail to be used with bone meal. Let's try actually other forestry related trees. I think the teak one, I'm not sure which is forestry and which is extra biomes. Okay, this seems to be working just fine. So let's get one sapling back and mine it simply with this. I think this wood isn't forestry but something else, so this is quite irrelevant. However, there is something else that I'd like to try, something called the treealizer. Something very similar to the beealizer, just for trees. So it's created like this, the treealizer. Very similar, I'm gonna need some copper, some redstone, some glass, and some water. So, copper, diamonds, redstone, and some glass, some water. Okay, so I got my one water cell. Let's set up the recipe. So it looks like this, a diamond, and redstone. Okay, so I should... What? Copper, redstone, diamond. What's the problem? Missing resources? Do I need more water? Oh yeah. Okay, so I need one more. So this should create it. If I will have a problem applying the bone meal to those trees, this project will probably be changed to something else. However, when I think about it, I may actually not need bone meal, or at least it's not a must. The idea here is creating a red power mechanism that relies on a very basic property that you can do with trees. I'm going to quickly show to you this thing right now, but I'm probably gonna do it in the next episode only because this one's been running quite long. Let me actually show you what I mean. So if you get a repeater, you get some sort of redstone signal. Let's get some... I need a torch. So just make some new torches. That will do. And let's just get a normal oak wood, most basic type. So here's a very interesting thing. If I set up a system that looks like this, repeater, another repeater, this will be a redstone signal, and just some redstone so you can actually see the difference. At the moment, obviously, they do not connect. When you place the sapling, they still don't connect, but when this sapling turns into a tree, it does connect. And this is this entire mechanism here, the ability to move redstone signal through this wood block is what I'm going to rely my entire thing on. Now, obviously, when you look at it, you can understand why I don't actually need bone meal. Because obviously, if the tree knows how to recognize it automatically if the redstone mechanism know how to recognize it automatically when the tree is grown, why is a bone meal necessary? Well, it's not, and you're correct. I don't really need it, but I still want to begin with the ability to kind of boost it up, because even though I can let the tree grow normally, I can still apply bone meal and it will still work, just like I did right now. So this is what I'd like to have the option of, at least the option to apply bone meal, so I can speed this thing up. Let's see what this, just before ending the episode, let's see what this treealizer can do, if it can help me in any way. Maybe, like the Bealizer can contain information on whether or not this can be applied, you can apply bone meal to, I don't know, maybe. Just guessing here. Okay, so let's see. So I think it's gonna need, it's gonna need honey as well, just like the Bealizer. So let's get some honey. I think I have the materials. No, not yet. Okay, so let's place some honey here, and let's place the common walnut tree. Okay, so it has this active inactive thingy. Sappiness, no clue. Yield, no clue. I guess this is the amount of product. This is the chance of trees dropping saplings normally. Height, girth. Oh, it's a 2x2 tree. So I guess this is just like the jungle trees, that you're gonna need to have a 2x2 to actually apply a signal to it. But I think even jungle trees, a sapling can grow on its own eventually. One sapling. Let's just leave it here, see if it happens. Maybe it will grow. Okay, so nice. This was the problem. So this treealizer is a good tool. Let's see what else can I treealize. Let's try a basic oak sapling, and let's see this thick sapling that I've just got myself, just, you know, interesting a little bit. So apple oak matures fast, height small. There we go. The girth is 1 by 1. So this is, yeah. What other information does it contain? Growth, native planes, tolerates planes, supports pomes, fruits apple. Oh, I can see what the fruit is. And possible produce, nice. Possible mutations, I guess none. Yeah, very much similar to the bees. There you go. Support jungle, native. What does supports mean? I guess it's bees. It has no apple fruits. Yeah, I think this is not a forestry sapling. This is it's not a vanilla sapling nor a forestry sapling, so it kind of contains information it might not be able to understand very much, the Treealyzer. Well, yeah, at least now I understand. Well, hopefully that's the problem. It might be something else, but hopefully that is the problem. So identifying the problem is always a good thing. Alright, so this episode was more talking and less doing, but I did take a quick sneak peek at my inchworm chunk loading mechanism here, and so far it seems to have worked. It seems to be working. I think it went down, up and down twice already since I've been setting it up. And let's actually have a quick look. Let's see, did it go forward or not? Okay, just about to. So let's see how many blocks intersecting. Now, when it reaches the top, there should be 2 blocks intersecting. I'm standing here. This is, let's see, it's Y value or X value, I don't know. This is 567 point half. So 567 half. This should be the second block from the end. So it should be this. There we go, 567 half. So there you go, it works. Now you can't see it visually, but if you look at again the numbers under my minimap, you can see that those are the same numbers, and this is what I expected it to be. So I guess this finally works. So from here on end, I just need to worry about my rail tracks placement system, other than making sure that this also works. So if this works, it's awesome. Alright, so hopefully by the next episode I'm going to start with the tracks placement system. And until then, as always, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.